Hi everyone, in this video we're going to go over some basic functions in Cricut Design Space. Let's start out with some basic text. So you're going to scroll over and go to the text box on the left-hand bar. So we're typing in our text here. The default font is just a nice normal font, but if you'd like to change it to something a little bit different, I'll show you how to do that. To change the font, you're going to go up to the font box and pick which one you would like. So as you can see, there's a preview of all different kinds. It'll give you, some of them are Cricut ones that you'll have to pay for, but for the most part, they're all free. So we pick this one. Now this one's a cursive font. So you can see it kind of looks a little bit strange because all of the things aren't attached. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna ungroup it. This will allow us to deal with each letter individually. As you can see on the right-hand side in your different layers, they're all separate. So that means we can move them individually. And so since it's a cursive, you want to connect them like this. You don't have to do this, but it definitely makes the phrase look a lot better when they're connected, at least in my opinion. It's kind of a personal preference. So once we finish joining all of the letters together, we're going to highlight them all and group them again. So grouping, the overall idea is that you're grouping everything in the design together to be able to move it. So again, we're going to go to the right-hand panel and click group once we have everything selected. So this again puts it back together. Just to show you what it does in the actual printing dialog. So grouping won't actually keep everything together when you go to cut. As you can see here, it's going to cut out each individual letter without them being connected. We obviously don't want this since we just spent all that time putting the cursive together. So here's where we'll talk about the attach and welding features. So if we were to go to the bottom and click attach, this would result in all of the letters being cut together. Attaching would be all you need to do if this was just a normal font, but since this is a cursive font, if we just click attach, it's going to cut at the edge of each of all of the wording. So between the H and the I, it's going to cut that even though we've put them together. So what we need to do is take one more step, and that is to weld all of the letters together. So it's not going to cut out anything along the cursive path. It will now cut as one continuous unit instead of separating at every different letter. Just keep in mind that welding is exactly as it sounds. You're just welding the letters together so that it's cutting as one instead of each individual letter. So I'll show you another example of weld. So this, you can input shapes on that left-hand side with the shape box. So if we highlight these two circles together and then click our weld button, they're going to cut as one unit. So there won't be any overlapping circles in the middle that will cut out. It's just going to cut out as one continuous unit. Now to show you the slice feature, we'll put a star here. I'll make a different color just so it's easier to see. So we highlight everything and then you're going to click slice, which is right beside the weld button. So what this does is it slices the image. So now it's going to cut out that star within the circular pattern. Now we can just delete those other two stars if we're just going to say wanting to cut out this shape here. So now let's take a look at what the flatten feature will do. That's the next little button down at the bottom on the right. So flatten is used for mainly print and cut features. So let's go ahead and put a star in here. So again, that's going to shapes on the left-hand side, clicking the star. If you want to resize it, you'll drag in with that bottom right corner, and tilting is that top left corner, or top right corner. So we'll send it to the back of the image so that my name is Sam is on the front. Let's change the color of that star to white. So then we're going to highlight everything and click flatten. So what that is going to do is it's essentially going to make it into a image that's going to be printed out first before the Cricut cuts it out. So that's a bad example because you can't see the white. So let's change the color on it to purple, and we'll do the same thing, flatten. So now when you click make it at the top right hand corner, this is now going to be a print and cut image. So what's going to happen is you're going to print it first on your printer and then the Cricut will cut it out. So as you can see here, this is what a print and cut image looks like. You send it to your printer once, I'm not going to show you that right now, but you click continue and it would send to the printer. Then you have those black registration marks that the Cricut would know to cut it out on. The Cricut image library is a really handy tool to find different things to cut out, or there's even some print and cut options as well. As you can see, there's lots of random things, but there is a search bar in the top right-hand corner. So let's go ahead and search for something. So I love narwhals for some reason, so let's go ahead and look for one of those. So anytime you click on something, you can see on the bottom right-hand corner that it's there ready to be inserted. So you can do multiple images at a time. So I click that second one and click insert, and then both get inputted into my canvas. So let's just use this one. We'll change the color on it to blue. And then I'll show you that each of these things shows up on a different mat. So the blue is cutting separately from the gray, and then the print and cut is on its own as well. So let's try searching for something else. We'll find something to do with wine. So you can scroll down, there's tons of options. Let's see, what do we want? So I'll go ahead and pick the one I want, Good Friends Wine Together. So then we'll put that there. This is another example of how we'll use the attach function as well. So we'll change the color on this to blue. Again, just to show you things that are the same color, they are grouped together on the same mat. So that's really handy. So you can see our blue narwhal and then our Good Friends Wine Together. So I'm going to go ahead and insert another image. Let's insert this wine glass and bottle together. I'm going to go ahead and reposition it and resize it to where I want it to be. So I always play around with this, trying to figure out how exactly I want it, try different positions for grouping that you're looking for. So ultimately, I think I'd like it there. So one thing I use all the time is the align feature to make sure things are centered. So you're going to go to the top, align, and then pick the one that you're looking to do. This one I'm trying to center them horizontally, so I want them to match up together. So I want that wine glass and bottle to be in the middle of the text. So that's a super handy feature. And now we're going to attach them. So this attach, it's not just like group, so they're going to print in that exact order, right? So when we go to the blue page, they're going to print out with that Good Friends Wine Together and the wine bottle, wine glass right below it. So this is really handy that you don't have to match things up if it's going to be a close together image.